Okay, well, good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to see our students this evening and also our staff from level 3 and 4. Today is a very special day to our school. You know, we have invited a special guest monk to conduct our class today. So our students knows, uh, Venerable Geshe, Bante Geshe. Bante Geshe is a Tibetan Buddhist monk. So today, Bante, I want to thank you for accepting our invitation. Um, all right, I am now very respectfully invite to Bante Geshe to the conduct the class. And also, dear students and the staff members, you can ask your questions from our Bante Geshe. We can learn a lot from him today and hope you all enjoy. Okay, Bante, uh, can you start now? Bante, I think you are muted.
Sorry for that. So thank you all, and then respecting to Bande and all my Dhamma friends, special young. So as Bande explained, I'm Tibetan. I grew up in India and then graduated on 1998. So I came here United States on 2005. So, and then I'm a resident teacher at DNKL, Connecticut, Reading, and then also I'm secretary of United Sangha Council, and also the adjunct professor at Western Connecticut University. So just let you know that. And then before I begin, I'm going to take homage to Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Gangi dozen ye sonen dawa tam je bangbe je dambe she ne tuen ze godam de la cha ze sanje chö dang so ji chö na ma chang jo ba to ta ne kya su ji da ge jin so gi be so nam ki do la pen ji sanje do ba shu. Okay, so but can I show my presentation on our screen? So can you share me to make a host?
Sure, Bante.
Okay. You're seeing enough, right? It's big enough. I can make it bigger. Okay. So today, what I have to talk is how we engage Buddhist practice in Tibetan tradition. So and then just let you know, the Tibetan tradition is the Mahayana tradition. And then also I'm going to share you that in general, how we engage the practice. Okay, so all this practice included in this topic here we call Sabdavida Anuradha Puja. Sabdavida Anuradha Puja, 7-limb practice. In Tibetan, we say Chöbe Yang Dun, right? You see there, Chöbe. This is Tibetan letter. You might see first time, and then this is how we pronounce Chöbe Yang Dun. This is how we're going to talk. And what is the sevens are prostration, offering, purifications, rejoicing, and requesting teaching, and beseech the teacher not to be passed, and then dedications. Okay, so these 7 things, if you know by the another words, you can see that below here, the 7 stage of developing peacefulness, as you can see it, which is the respectful, reverence, correcting bad habit, sympathetic joy, requesting from learned, and then solutions, transformations. That's the same which we talk. This is normal language, you use it, that. And in our Sanskrit language, we use the namaha, puja, dasana, anumodana, and atiyashana or kadana, or pratana or paranamana. Okay, so these are the in Sanskrit said, and I'm not going to say all this definition. You just look at here, okay? And in the most of the prostration, we waking up morning earlier. If we one day practice, how we do is waking up morning earlier after the check shower and toothbrush and everything's finished. So then we go to the altars and then doing prostration. So 3 times or more than 3 times. So we do. And then after that, instead of offering, we every day we offering water bowl. That's we call. You can see that in front of. Maybe I can share you this. You can see my background here. You can see all this offering water bowl, right? So there, water bowl there. Okay, this every day we offering the water bowl in the morning, the part of the offering, and then in the evening we taking back this water bowl, and then after offer the water bowl, or we can do some special sometime offering fruit and so on. But every day we offering water bowl. The number is 7 or more than 7. We can do that limitless number, okay? There are no certain number to set it up, water bowl offering. So after that, we sitting down and little bit meditate to make calm mind, right? And then after calm mind, we're visualizing so many things, like visualize Buddha in front of us. And then after Buddha and all these bodhisattvas that visualize inviting in front of us, then we do generating compassion, or like meditate on compassion or loving kindness. So after that, we do purification practice. The purifying, what we're purifying is all this negative karma. So that's how we're purifying. And how to purify it, that just takes a long time. Just generally say, we're purifying negative karma by the ritual practice. And then after that, we're rejoicing from Buddha's good deeds until all these humans' good deeds. Every day we're rejoicing it. And then continues requesting to teaching to us. And then, so it's teaching, continuous teaching is depend on remaining long life. So therefore we're requesting to have long life, not past. Anyhow, we're requesting that long life. And final, we dedicate that whatever I collected virtue, whatever collected merit is benefit to all sentient beings, the free from all sentient beings from suffering, and let me enlighten it for sake of all beings. That kind of dedication we do. So, and then this is not simply tradition. These 7, the practice are not simply tradition. So it has a big meaning, right? And then I just let you know, you might do prostration in your home or your parents doing it, but don't think it's Buddhist tradition to do it. What is the meaning of the tradition is, like this doing is, say, the prostration actually applying antidote for pride. You know, the ego, pride, you know that pride? Okay. You know pride, right? The pride has a many different types, actually. There are many different types. General pride say, I don't want to listen to you. It could be pride, right? So, and then, so whatever I did, it's right. It shouldn't be wrong. This could be pride, right? And yeah, there are many attitudes and many phases of pride, but the general doing prostration is part of respecting. It is reducing your pride every day, because pride never lets you respect to other. Pride only make you to disrespect to other, because I'm the best. If I'm the best, then why should you respect other? That's a pride talk, right? So therefore, pride lets you do always disrespect, which is harming other, right? Therefore, has to be reduced the pride. And then simple way to reducing pride is doing prostration to Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and all these holy beings. Your head, you know, they're doing prostration, the top of your top of head, forehead touching in the ground, actually touching the ground, that we see it, but the visualization is you are touching the Buddha's feet. All the Bodhisattva's feet, Arhat's feet. You have forehead touching their feet. So, and very much bowing down, it's really practically let you reduce your pride day by day. Simple, and it can reduce pride. This is the reason why we do prostration, okay? Don't say it's a Buddhist tradition. So, and why we offering again? Again, it's not just simply tradition, right? So the offering is like try to reduce the miserliness. You know, I don't want to give. The lack of giving, right? So lack of giving, that you don't want to give or do you don't want to share anything to others. So this is we call miserliness, right? So this is also harms to yourself and harms to other. Miserliness is, right? So therefore, we must reduce miserliness and then try to give more, try to practice more generosity. So the generosity is you cannot give right now like a stranger people, because who you don't know, right? Therefore, our mind practicing to giving Buddha and all Bodhisattvas. One time you give it, 2 times you give it, that much your generosity become more brighter and increases. And one day, definitely you can give something to yours, like who you don't know, stranger people. This is the how process, right? So not always give to the Buddha. This is process that one day you can give to other. This is the process for doing that, okay? So that's every day we do the offering practice, because we are practicing generosity, and because until you have a miserliness, you cannot generate, you do any generosity practice, right? You know the miserliness, stinginess, right? What is stinginess? Can you say, one of you, what is stinginess? Whoever would like to share, please. I want to know your perspective of the stinginess. Okay. So stinginess is that you want to keep everything to yours, only to yourself, right? Don't want to share from anything. It's not necessarily money, even your knowledge. If you don't want to share to other, if you think, oh, if I share, they might know better, they might become better than me. That's wrong. This is lack of generosity. So that's a kind of stinginess, right? And then something you very much like it, whatever, like a book, chocolate, whatever you have it, right? Then definitely you cannot share to others. That's stinginess. So how much you become a stinginess, so that much you will you are out of society, you are having less friends and feel loneliness, all these problems comes, right? So therefore it harms yourself is harms to other also. But the opposite, you giving is benefit to other and benefit to yourself. So that's therefore we do this offering practice. Okay. So now go to next, the Dasana, purification practice, or the correcting your bad habits, right? So because our bad habits, all this negative karma, negative actions, actual comes by 3 poison. You know the 3 poison? Who knows 3 poison? Attachment, hatred, and ignorance, right? Ignorance. So these are the 3 poisons. So this we call sometime mental defilement, sometime mental affliction, sometime negative emotion, okay? So this led us to create negative karma. For example, once you have a hatred, anger, you want to say harsh word. You use harsh word. The using harsh word is negative action, right? Or you want to fight. You are fighting to someone else through by having anger. That fighting is negative action. Using harsh word is negative action. Lying is negative action. Killing insect, bugs, mosquito are negative actions, right? Why you kill the mosquito? Because it's bothering to you, cause you anger, annoyed to you, then you kill it. So this actually comes from either hatred, attachment, and so on, right? So these, the 3 poison let you create negative actions. So therefore, as well as you are try to not have anger and attachment, that much you will not create negative actions, right? So, and you should have a regret what you done bad things, because it's harms to other. It's not good for you. It's not good for other. It's not good for world, right? If you look at the biggest view, it's not good for world. As well as something is not good for you and within your family, any action that's not good for world, right? So therefore, you have to change this all bad habit. So you must need a regret what you done. Oh yeah, I done these things, like I lied today, but they will know some days, then it's embarrassing me. And it's actually harms to me as I lied. So therefore, should have a regret. And since tomorrow, I'm never lying, committed. So every day, regret, committed, regret, committed. That's how you can have change your habit. That means purified your negative action. Clear? Okay, I hope you understand. So therefore, let's see, 3 poisons let you create it, negative karma. It has to be negative karma means you're always correcting your bad habits or your bad actions, right? So that has to be clear. It's depend on every day. You think it's not good, it's not good. All this negative action is not good. It harms to me, it harms to other, right? It's not good because I'm losing my reputation. This is not good reason, okay? The good reason is it's not good because it harms to other and it harms to me. That's the reason you should think why it's not good. Okay. Then the fourth, again, it's not just tradition. Again, it has a big reason. They're doing rejoicing to other, right? So because in our daily life, we do a lot of competitiveness, competition. Many of them saying competition is good. Without competition, you cannot learn. Without competition, you cannot develop. Say that, but you have to rethink on it. Without competition, is there any way I can better learn? Is there any way I can reach my goal? right? So you are becoming better educations. It's not necessarily competitive. Even you're playing, right? Whatever you like a sport you're playing. Without competition, if you just, I have to do my best. This is how you have to motivation. I have to do my best. Do your best instead of thinking I have to defeat them. No, it's a very hidden negative mind. I have to defeat them is very bad. It's once become your habit. This is the created world like a disturb to having world peace, right? So not play that I have to defeat them. The play that I have to do my best. You know, sometimes you might lose, sometimes you might win. That's okay. This is life. Too much jump when you win and just enjoy it. Not too much. When you lose, don't have to worry and sad. This is normal life. So therefore, competition mind, competitiveness will let you have that kind of emotion. Too much happy, too much sad, which is, again, it's a harms, it's a suffering, right? So therefore, competitiveness is very hidden violence. No need of competitions. Whatever you have to develop, you can develop without competition, okay? They have a lot of solution and method there. Without competition, you can develop or whatever you like it to do it. So therefore, instead of compete, you should rejoiced. Competitiveness minds comes from sometimes jealousy. You know, I have to become a better, but someone getting better than me, what else? And why? What happened? If someone getting better than, there are so many people is much better than you, there exists. But you don't see that. You only see your friend who near to you, right? Then you don't want to let them better than you, but already there, so someone better than you. So therefore, if you see someone better than you, just rejoice. How wonderful. In our world, someone there is good people, someone there best talent, which we needed in our world. Whoever you see talented, be happy-minded, be rejoiced. Otherwise, if you turn to the jealousy, then only cause you have suffering, nothing else. Jealousy makes you so many bad things, okay? So competitiveness, then you can hiddenly just doing so many bad like actions, which is not really good, right? So therefore, never jealousy. Therefore, competitiveness, jealousy comes from competitive mind, like a competition mind, competitiveness, all competitiveness brings you jealousy. It dependent. So therefore, rejoice is good. If you someone see much better than you, either your body shape, your knowledge, much better than your knowledge, you rejoice it. So happy it, because we need it in this world. We need a more education people. We need a more attractive people. We need a more beautiful people. And you see all this, whoever you see the beautiful people, whoever you see the knowledgeable, just be happy with it. Wonderful, we have this kind of things in the world. Rejoice, right? That's really good in our, that's for every day, whether you see people in front of you or not seeing. But in generally, just think, whoever best in this world is good. I'm happy with it, right? That's why you have to think every day, and someone near to you, you can see someone better than you, who is close to you, you can rejoice it instead of like a comparing or competitions, okay? So other two, just I go more shortly, is that requesting teaching, or same as like a request from learn, right? So here's the abandoning the Dharma. The abandoning Dharma means what? Abandoning Dharma means here, we are too much fighting in religious, right? That's religious is bad, my religious is good, my view is good, your view is bad. That's all fighting, is abandoning Dhamma. We shouldn't judge, right? So respect to every single religious in this world. But keeping faith is different. You can have faith with one religious, that's okay, but respect equal to everyone. So disrespecting to every religious, that's abandoning Dharma, which is cause harm again. We see this a lot of problem. You might reading book. We have a lot of problem with the religious earlier, right? And it will be happening if we not try to change ourselves. You follow me? Okay. So therefore, shouldn't just have equally respect to all religious, no matter what kind of religious, but keep your faith with what you have a more devoted, what you have more makes sense to you. You can keep one faith with the one religious. Don't have to faith to every religious. Don't have to like a trust to every religious, but respect to every religious is good, right? So that's the saying, abandoning Dhamma. Recursing teaching is help you to not abandoning Dhamma. Recursing teaching, how much you learn, that much you gain like a wisdom, and how much you gain the wisdom, that much you will be like a take care very well, right? That much you can manage very well. So, and you will become a more fearless or doubtless. We have a lot of doubt. Sometimes the doubt make us like a kind of like a abandoning Dhamma, right? So if you have a wisdom, you will be free from doubt. You will be free from fear. Then the respect is automatically there. Okay. So, and then next is like a displacing the guru. So you harms your teacher, or you know, here I see the lot. The relation between teacher and student is not business. Actually, it's not business. But in our mind, relation and teachers turn into the business. Students are thinking the teacher should do this and that because I paid. And teachers are thinking, I should do better, otherwise I lose my job. That's just really, really wrong things, I thought. Okay, so teacher and student relationship is keep relationship with gaining knowledge, right? Whether you pay money or not pay money, as well as you're not gaining knowledge, you're nothing to do with it. As well as gaining knowledge, it's okay, right? So the teacher, so between like a teacher and student relationship, the teacher responsibility is more wake you up, more give you educated, more share your wisdom, right? And then you are the student, part of the student's job is respect to teacher, right? Not use harsh word, not challenge, not fighting. Otherwise, I see many students fighting with the teacher and complaining. So that's a depend actually, right? But in general, always should keep respect to your teacher because you're gaining knowledge, making your life better. Teacher and parents are like your eyes. Without eyes, you cannot walk. You cannot see the beautiful things, right? Now you're seeing beautiful things and you walk and you do so many things because you do have eyes. Same way, as well as you have teacher and your parents, you're doing more respect to them, you will gain more lot. Your life will become a more beautiful. You can see so many beautiful things in your life. So there are your eyes. So therefore, how much you care for in your eyes, same way you should care for teacher and parents. It's equal, okay? So that's the respect we needed. So the final one is a dedication, parinamna, right? Parinamna, a dedication is, I said here, why we do dedication practice, because we have to clear the wrong view, right? Because wrong view makes you narrow-minded. What is wrong view then? Right? What is wrong view? Is there anything real, truth, but your mind thinking it's not real? That's its wrong view, right? Say every life is impermanent, change, but your mind keep thinking it's not impermanent, it's not changing. I'm going to live like 100 years. That could be wrong view, because you are not accepting reality. Reality is impermanent, decreasing, momentarily change, but you keep thinking, I'm not decreasing. So that's wrong view. That's one example of wrong view, right? So then there are so many things which is real, which is truth, but you are not accepting it ignorantly, right? So until you're not accepting it, you are becoming more narrow-minded. How you become, if you become a more narrow-minded, so then you cannot learn so many things, right? Therefore, your mind should be open to learn everything. Whatever you learn, not necessarily accept it right away. It takes you time to accepting it, but open your mind for learning everything. There's two different things, you know that, right? Sometimes we say learning means accept it. That's wrong. Learn, hear it, think on it. Open-minded. Every single education, every single knowledge of object, you should learn it, you should hear it. But accepting it is depend on, a lot of analytical mind. And you have to analyze a lot. So not accept it, but learn it. But accept it how much you know clear, how much it makes sense to you, that much you accept it, and then other things, keep it process to learn more. Two different things, right? So therefore, shouldn't be narrow-minded, open mind to learn all these things. But accepting is different, as I said it. Okay. So that's dedication is like, say, dedicating is like I'm dedicating this, my whatever I did good things, to helping others, to freeing from suffering, to becoming arahat. Then you say, oh, I cannot become an arahat. What is arahat? It could be wrong view. Therefore, you have to open-minded. Instead of there are no arahat, I never see it. Not simply decide, don't simply decide that way. Open-minded, what is arahat? Ask Lord, until you really, really clear on it. And then you learn Lord, you think Lord, still you don't see the arahat is exist. That's different issue. So when you see the arahat, then your dedication will be better. Oh yeah, all being should achieve arahat in order to freeing from suffering. See, once you clear the wrong view, then your mind become a more better, more knowledgeable. How you become a knowledgeable, that much you can free from suffering from other. Right? Okay, this is like just briefly how we do practice every day in lay community and monks community. Both do this 7 practice equally. Okay. So Bande, I think this is good now. So unless they have a question.
Okay, dear students, you feel free to ask questions from Bante Geshe. So I definitely, I think they have many questions to ask you.
Yes, one of you can start it. Who is more brave?
Bhante, is it okay since you invited the students to ask questions? Is it okay if I go first?
Sure,
Although
definitely. Yeah.
I just wanted to know whether these 7 stages that you described in the past 30 minutes or so, is it going level by level, or is it like 7 pillars to get to the next stage? Is it sort of like you need to first be respectful, then do offerings, then go to purification? Is it like a stepwise thing, or is it like you need to have all these 7 things for you to become better at the same time?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. Actually, all these 7 things good to do in every day, and it is doable. Yeah, and that's it makes you better life and peaceful life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bhante, this Chaminda here. Is this 7 limbs? Is it like we know in Mahayana also we have the sutta? So is it part of any sutta, or it is like the general, like the
Oh yeah, it is
like the general?
Okay. It's nice to see you, Chaminda.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Likewise,
yeah, it comes from sutta, and then we call like in English we translate is like a king of prayer. That's one of the sutra which Buddha taught, and then all the 7 limb practice main source from there.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah. As sometimes we call Samandabhadra's prayer. You know, Samandabhadra is one of the Bodhisattvas, his prayer and his dedications. That short prayer, the all 7 limb practice comes from there. And then we have another sutta there. Yeah.
Thank you.
What happened? All you young.
Yeah, we encourage because I know Geshe Lobsang for some time now, and I have learned a lot from him for last few years. Because of the pandemic, we never got to meet in person, but we were in some Zoom discussions and stuff. So students, over to you. You can ask many questions, even what is like maybe fundamental questions like,
Yes.
So he is representing the Mahayana Buddhism, and then for an instance, Bhante Pannasiri, and we usually practice the Theravada Buddhism. Even you may ask what the difference or what similarities it has, or any questions you have in mind.
Yeah, definitely. The question shouldn't not necessarily related with our today's topic. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the students will have that sort of questions more than the lesson you went to today.
Yeah. Or you can simply ask, when you become a monk, so why you become a monk?
Yeah.
How you do become a monk? What is your cloth? You can simply ask that kind of question, whatever you see or whatever you think. Welcome to do that. Okay.
Yeah, with what I learned earlier when I was having discussions with you, I think very first time when I met you, like this Geshe, like we address you as Geshe, but it is more like a your education or some kind of a status you get through academic learning. Maybe you can tell us something about it.
Okay. The Geshe is the title. It's not my name, it's title. The title equivalence here is a PhD. So we become a Geshe after 18 years learning the 5 major philosophy, and then plus 5 years exam. 18 years plus 5 years, then after that we become a Geshe. So So it takes really long. Therefore, you should understand, learning Buddhism cannot complete in 1 or 2 days or 1 year, 2 years. Even we studied Buddhism 18 years plus 5-year exam, but still we learning new things. Still we reading book, so like a wide and profound. Therefore, we have a lot of Pitaka, not just one volume. Like other religions, simply they have a Bible, one book, Quran, one book, Bhagavad Gita, one book. But we do have a 3 Pitaka, each has a 100. So that's that much explanation of our life. That much explanation explained it, or our samsaric life, and how we gaining or free from there. So all this explained extensively. Sometimes people say, sorry.
I just had a question.
Okay, sure.
So is Geshe the highest title that you can get, or can you go higher than that?
The title, the education title is Geshe is the highest, but after we become a Geshe, there are many different rank, becoming abbot or like other different rank there. But the education part this is the highest one, yeah. And sometimes we say, all the religious talks about compassion, as His Holiness Dalai Lama saying, right? And their religious compassion, like the Christian, Hindu, Islamic, and Judaism, they're all compassion is kind of like a root text. And you can think Buddhist is commentary of this, which explain extensively, not just explain what is compassion, and it also teach us step by step how to generate it very extensively. You can think it's commentary of all compassions. Okay.
Could you please explain the role of the Dalai Lama?
Sorry?
Could you please explain the role of the Dalai Lama?
Oh, okay. The role of the Dalai Lama, he's one of the reincarnated, and then we accept he's our guru and spiritual teacher. And he was also the leader of the Tibetan politicians. Now he resigned that, he no more the leader of the politicians, but he's still the like a leader of our spirituality, and he's world peacemaker. That's how I recommended you him.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Great. A very good question.
Yes, Avin. Avin is going to ask a question.
Can you do a short chant?
Short chanting in Tibetan?
Yes, please.
Definitely, I will do it. So I can chant 4 immersible, okay? 4 immersible. Immersible of equanimity mind, immersible of love, immersible of compassion, and immersible of joyful. Okay, this I will do in Tibetan. Simje Tamje Dewa Dan Dewe Judan Dembar Jurchi. Simje Tamje Dunge Dan Dunge Gi Judan Dewa Jurchi. Simje Tamje Dunge Mebe Dewa Dan Mendewa Jurchi. Semje damje nyeri chada nidan jewe danyom la nebar gyuru chi. Okay. Are you do pray in your home? Erin, let me know what you do in your home.
Yeah, we pray.
You do pray? Also, what other things do you do in the morning? Part of spirituality. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, if you want to share, that's fine. If you don't want to share, that's fine also. Yeah. And again, the part of the prayer, again, we are not praying to someone to relying free from suffering, okay? So prayer is not only the method to let you free from suffering. No. Prayer is reminded you to find out the path which you can do free from suffering. So prayer is more reminded, okay? So otherwise, and then we are not different than creator, right? Everything rely on Buddha, you should do, I'm sleeping, you should let me free from suffering. That's not happening. So Buddha said, no, I cannot do that. What I can do is, I will show you path, you have to work. If you're not working on this path, you will not reach anything, just sleeping, you will not reach anything. As well as you're working on it, this is the right path, you never waste your time, you will reach the goal. That's how Buddha said it, okay? So therefore, prayer is not that simply, I want $1 million money, please give me, no. Right? So the prayer could be help you to get money, the part of the accumulate merit, how much you gain merit, how much you gain better person, how much you become a more energetic, that makes you money. So prayer can do that. Makes you more energetic, accumulate merit, okay? But not just simply sleep and asking money or asking free from suffering. That's not happening in the Buddhist.
Yes,
Okay.
Bhante,
Yes,
can I
please.
ask a question?
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm Richard, and I work with the level 3 students, and I'm curious about the role of the female spiritual practitioners. Are there women in the roles somewhat like nuns, or are they able to achieve a spiritual renunciate status of some kind?
Definitely, definitely. At Buddha time, we do have a many bhikshuni who become an arhat. So that's equally even like a part of practice, part of ritual, part of becoming leader of each monastery. We all equally share to gender, like both female and male. So they are no differentiated. And also the part of realizations or part of achieving arhat or enlightenment, also equal, because we do have a Buddha nature that we said it. As well as even the dog, animal, can become an arhat in the future because they do have a Buddha nature. So therefore, everyone has an equally Buddha nature habit, same, they will equally achieve that enlightenment. And we do have a lot of example for that. As I said, many bhikshuni, and also the, you see that Tara, one of the Mahayana deities we call Tara, his female form. So it's enlightened. Yeah.
Yes, and are there nuns now, or a different role for women who practice would like to practice as a monastic?
But yeah, we do have a nunnery monastery and a monks monastery. We too have a different monastery. So both are not studying in one same monastery. They are two different monastery. And then also they have each abbot. So nunnery monastery abbot is like a nun, and monks monastery abbot is monk. So that's we do have, yeah.
Oh, that's nice to hear. I know in some circles of Buddhism in the world that there's the controversy about women becoming nuns. because of the lineage dying out at a certain point in history. But not in the Mahayana tradition, there are nuns.
Yeah, definitely, we do have a nuns.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's
we
good.
do have a nuns. So the one difference is, so far we do not have a bhikshuni, but we do have a nuns. All nuns are holding the novice the vows, not the fully ordained. So because we did not seize that lineage, which is directly comes from Buddha, therefore we cannot jump and say, okay, I can give you vows. So this is not simply because Vinaya only that ruled by Buddha. So the Buddha owes everything, as well as Buddha said it, as well as we have a connection lineage, then we can give the fully ordained vows. Otherwise, not. Therefore, Tibetan, like a nunnery, all of nunners are like a novice vows. They do have it. They're nun. They can do everything until all this practice. But vows is different than other religion, other country. Okay.
Understand.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Yes, Connelly.
Are there other things that you can give the Buddha besides flowers, water, and food?
Oh, you see that? Okay. Yeah, you mean like a meaning of the why or flower, water, or what do you really questions? Only? Can you hear me, Oneli? So your question is, or someone can help me what she asked.
Yeah, maybe like what she was asking, Bante, is like in Theravada, in our temples or at our home, for the Buddha, we offer like dana, the food, and the soft drinks or the medicines and the incense and different things to show our respect. So I think she was asking, like at the beginning, you mentioned about that you're offering like 7 or more bowls of water in the morning to Buddha. So she was referring whether you will be like in Mahayana Buddhism, like in Theravada, whether you offer more things than just the water.
Oh, I see. Yeah, we do. We do definitely. We offer incense, butter lamb, and then flower, fruit. All this we do. But every day, the morning and like every day, most of them do is water offering is more simple. But actually, we do all this practice. You can see behind the photo of flower and all these things there, right?
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Good question.
Oh,
Yes.
Bante, can I ask a second question?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it might be nice to hear about the differences between the Mahayana tradition and the Theravada tradition that you think would be, helpful to the students so they can understand.
Yeah, definitely. So for the Mahayana tradition, Theravada tradition is not differentiated by their view and their many practice, but more motivation. Motivation. The Mahayana is motivated to achieve Buddhahood. And most of Theravada is the motivated to achieve Nirvana. This is the difference. So otherwise, all practice is the same. And another way to say is Mahayana is additional practice. So without Theravada practice, Mahayana practice will not have any result. We must need to do the Four Noble Truth, 12 dependent origination, Eight Noble Path, all this practice we must have to do in order to free from suffering or samsara. And additionally, as our goal is different, additionally, we have a different path. Top of that, bodhicitta and sixth perfection and so on, so on. This is a different path we do. So again, repeat. So this is additional practice. Without Theravada practice, the Mahayana practice will not achieve any goal.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah. So therefore, this 18 years, we have to study all these 4 different tenet schools, their view, and then 3 different practitioners, Sarvaga Buddha, Pratika Buddha, and the Bodhisattvas, their practice also. We have to learn all these different lineages, different traditions, different view. All this we have to study it within this 18-year-old. And I covered this topic. We had United Sangha Council, that what called conference. One of the conference, I covered this all the topic, what we're learning it. Yeah.
Is that on YouTube?
I think it's in YouTube, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Ranuk. Do you have a question, Ranuk?
Looks like everyone's shy.
Let's see. Sanidhi? Bante, I'd like to ask you a question. What are the symbols that you use mostly in the Mahayana traditions? Symbols, we in the Theravada tradition we use the Dhamma Chakra symbols, and use the Buddhist flags and six colors, and at the same way, what are the symbols that you use mostly in the shrine room?
It's Dhamma Chakra. So you can see the center Dhamma Chakra and 2 sides the deers, which is facing to Dhamma Chakra. You can see very commonly in Tibetan tradition. So this is our most of symbolized. The Dhamma Chakra is same. And then 2 deers at the 2 side. It is like the disciple who listening Dhamma Buddha's teaching. The Dhamma Chakra is representative of Buddhist teaching, right? And the 2 deers are representative of the disciple. And then really face up to there means like a consistently, attentionally listening it. Yeah.
Right.
This is common. Yeah.
Yeah, and for others, there's an interesting thing about the Dhamma wheel. Maybe I can find it and share with you. And the temple where Bante Lobsang is staying. So in his background, his land, he's making a Dhamma wheel by cutting the grass. So you can see that how big it is. You can see that in the Google images when you look at the property where his temple is. So every year he cut it through that big lawnmower he has, and then you can see that visible from above. So it's a nice. So from that I learned that they mainly use the Dhamma Chakra as a Dhamma wheel as like a symbol.
Yeah, thank you, Shamani. That's true. And also you can find in YouTube, you can write the biggest Dhamma wheel in the world, just as we said it. And then you click on it, then it shows a big Dhamma wheel in the ground. And then similarly, explanations that 8 spoke, it's 8 noble path, and then there's the circling, each has a meaning, right? We explain same.
Okay, Ms. Joyce, do you have any questions?
I do, Bante. I was waiting for the students to ask you why you became a monk. You mentioned that and no one has asked. So I'm wondering, can you explain what drew you to become a Buddhist monk? In your
You mean what reason? A reason becoming a Buddhist monk?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. So in generally, there are a few reasons to become a Buddhist monk, and this is the one of your life choice, that how you will spend your life to more peacefully, rather like becoming family. It has more it's necessary, important, but some chaos there. So the monk's life is more peaceful, and then just also not just peaceful, they can devote it to social work for more more people. So that's one can reason to how benefiting to other, right? Then benefit to self is like more peaceful, and benefit to other, we can do more. In the family, like the whole life is ending with the 3-4 people, right? So, and then I'm talking majority, I'm not saying everyone, single one, right? There are a lot of family, they do a lot of things, but in majority, most of family, they're ending life within like few people, taking care of each other and then ending life. So the monks don't have a behind and in front of anyone's. Everyone is friend, everyone is sister, and everyone's brother. We can do like the same time 100 people, 1,000 people can help. So that's just one of the becoming monks. And another becoming monks is we need someone to dedicate it, devote it to life, to keep Buddha Dhamma as long lasting in this world. So the layperson can do practice Buddhist, but they don't have enough time to study it and keep this all essence of Buddha Dhamma. So that we need someone to keep the essence of Buddha Dhamma as longest. So therefore, monk communities, nuns communities, their life dedicated to study that, and then that's the we keep long lasting in the Buddha Dhamma. There are two reasons. But my personal is strange. I chose I don't have any reason to become a monk, because I was 10-year-old. My parents sent me to the monastery with my permission. Actually, I accept it. Then I went to monastery. And when I grow up, then I know the reason. It's good reason now. Therefore, I rejoice my parents. They choose the perfect path. So otherwise, when the first time, I don't know any reason to becoming monk. Just go there, right? The parents send me to there. That's how I become a monk.
Well, thank you very much. That's similar with our Bhante, who I believe was 11, correct?
Oh, okay, interesting.
Same here.
Wow, okay.
So Bante, our students might wonder to hear what are the techniques, meditation techniques that you are mostly used.
That we talk about two types of meditation. With the one of meditation is not really commonly seen in here in the West, which is analytical meditation. The part of single-pointed meditation is same. Either we using the breathing, our breath, or we are focusing on Buddha statue, small statue that we keep it object to build it our concentration mind. Single-pointedly meditate on it. So that's common. That's all we common. But analytical meditation, so to grow up, develop your compassion, develop your wisdom, that not commonly said it. So we also do the analytical meditation, think a lot of reason to why I need to compassion to other, how I need compassion, why they're suffering, how they're suffering, what is suffering. All this questioning and asking, thinking the reason, thinking the answer for each question, then it's really innerly develop that compassions. That's through by the analytical meditation. So the basic techniques are same, and then for instead of like for mindfulness, right? Which is the one common things. The for mindfulness, which is focusing on the bodies and the phenomena, mind, and what we call the feeling. The today's Vipassanas are doing, right? So that's There's 4 objects. We also same that object we meditating, but a little bit different. So this the inside means we try to see the reality of each of these. We try to see the reality, natural reality of the feeling, natural reality of the body. So this is one thing we do. And also another more like a overcome by attachment, we seeing the body is uglinesses. That's what we are meditating in body's uglinesses, and then feeling all suffering, and then all minds are impermanence, all phenomena are selflessness. That's another type of meditate. So the basic is same to develop concentration using same object.
Yeah, Bante, do you have any particular name for that kind of meditation? So like in Theravada tradition, it's meant like Vipassana meditation, and Samatha meditation, and breathing meditation we call Anapanasati meditation. So it's inside meditation is directly focused, as you said, in mind matter, and it says Vipassana in Theravada tradition. So I just want to know, do you have any particular name for that kind of meditations?
In Tibetan?
Yeah, Tibetan.
Oh, yeah, we do. Samadhi meditations we call shine, calm abiding, shine. That's what we say. And breathing meditation is included in there, Samadhi meditation. We don't have a separately name on breathing meditation. All this breathing meditation and other techniques are included in Samadhi meditation, which call in Tibetan shine. And it's inside meditation. Special inside meditation is more gaining wisdom, because special insight is wisdom that we accepted. So gaining more wisdom through by the analytical meditations that we call Laktong. Laktong means seeing something different, seeing something more, or seeing something beyond. That's Laktong. That's we use the term for Samadhi, Shine, Vipassana, Laktong, that we use it.
Thank you, Bante. Yeah, and also I recently have seen in the monastery, Tibetan monastery, they do chanting several hours continuously. So can you explain what are they chanting many hours, and can you explain a little bit about it?
Several hours we doing practice is something special prayer that we do. We call it's part of Tantra practice. We call it self initiations. Sometimes it took like 4 hours continuous, right? So it's really painful, knee and back. So that's not every time. It's most like a special day that we do a special prayer, that the longest. And some prayer we do like a waking up like a morning early at 2 a.m. Up to 9 p.m. with the break, the lunch and dinner break, and then daytime break. We just do continuous practice. So, and then majority prayer, I already said it, it's just reminding what practice we have to do. Because the most of prayer's topic is, what are we chanting is, what we're reciting is the word of compassion, word of wisdom, word of love and loving kindness. So that's all we're reciting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good to know. And my final question is, do you use any, we use the meditation bell, and as well as do you use any singing bowls and any drums while you're singing, chanting?
While we're chanting, we use few instruments. We use drum, we use like a bell and vajra, and we use some kind. The singing bowl is not the Tibetan tradition, actually.
Okay.
Many of them thinking singing bowl is Tibetan tradition. No, this is not Tibetan tradition. I think, for my knowledge, so far I understand it's more Zen Buddhist tradition. I'm not sure, that's I understand, but definitely it's not the Tibetan tradition. And therefore, when we do meditate, we never use singing bowl. So yeah. So, but meditating is not the time period. Meditating is for gaining something. For gaining something, you have to meditate until you gain something. Therefore, not time limited to you. Your inner limited to you. So therefore, but this today I see even Tibetan, the monks and nuns use that singing bowl. But it's not our tradition. Definitely not our tradition.
But we have heard and we hear that singing bowl is called the Tibetan singing bowl most of the time.
I hear that. 100% is not.
No.
100% is not. You can go back to research before 1959 in Tibet, before we come to West and India and exile. In Tibet, how we do practice. Is there any singing bowl? If you found any singing bowl, let me know then. There's no singing bowl. After that we come in exile, then singing bowls comes. Yeah.
But yes, Bhante, connected to the exile in the 1959, it's been now 72 or something years.
I think almost 63.
63, yeah. I miscounted. But does the Tibetan community have an idea of what may happen in the next several decades as the Dalai Lama, when he will eventually pass along? Because I learned that Panchen Lama did pass along, and there was a big controversy where this is creating. It sounds like it created a big challenge, and I feel a lot of. I wish that this challenge was not there for the Tibetan community. But do they have some idea of how to deal with these obstacles?
Yeah, definitely. We do have an idea. We do have a plan. But what happened in the future, we don't know. But we try to keep our best. So the plan, if you go to Dalai Lama webpage, you can see that also Dalai Lama has a statement how comes his reincarnation in future. But I'm 100% sure that China will find someone. There are no doubt. That's their policy. That's their politicians. But the world people believe or not believe. That's the more we have to look at the Dalai Lama statement in his website. So if as well as world people does not believe, that's fine then. Otherwise, definitely they will find it.
Yeah. Is there any way for? Do the Tibetan people recognize the Panchen Lama that was put in place by the Chinese government? And if they do not, how will they ever find the Panchen Lama that they did recognize, the child who the Dalai Lama selected?
Oh, how they do recognize it?
Yeah. Does the Tibetan community recognize the Panchen Lama that China selected?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, do they recognize, or do they feel that because the Dalai Lama selected Panchen Lama? Yeah. So what? How can they resolve this this confusion? Yeah.
So you can see two types in exile, either India, West, how our Tibetan react. In Tibet, they are different. In exile, no one accept, which is Chinese recommended Panchen Lama. Everyone accept which Dalai Lama recommended. But in Tibet, you can see the some of monastery accepting with the like a Chinese recommended Panchen Lama. So you know the why, right? So in Tibet, they are out of control. So, and then they don't have a choice. But who have a choice? Who is in out of Tibet? Who have a choice? No one except the what called Chinese recommended one.
Yeah.
And we are not criticizing him as one of human being, but we are not accepting he is reincarnated of Panchen Lama.
How can they find the Panchen Lama? Because if they do not know what happens to the child, then how will they know when and if Panchen Lama reincarnates again?
I don't know. We hitting on the rock. Our heads hitting on the rock. So China, where it hide it or exit or not exit, we don't know. But every year, there are many of our group protesting on it. So, but still, if the world not say strongly, China will not say what is this, what happening it. So therefore, yeah, as I say, we are hitting on the rock now.
Yeah, I hope there is no challenge, similar challenge to other leaders in the Tibetan tradition, the Mahayana tradition, when they pass along from one life to the next.
We hope.
We
hope. So this is one of the complicated, actually. I share you, as I'm Buddhist monk, do I believe every reincarnation is something special? No. We have a lot of reincarnation, but I not value it that is special. I just value it as like a normal human. Every human is reincarnated from previous life. We are all reincarnation. We all reincarnated. By special or value is depend on their knowledge, depend on their power, depend on their some kind of inner value, right? If we see really that special, unique inner value, then I can say, oh yeah, it's reincarnated, but special and valuable reincarnated. Otherwise, we all reincarnated.
Yeah, that's a nice point that you add in there.
Yeah.
Bhante, do you think you could tell the students just a little bit about the history of Mahayana Buddhism and the relationship to Tibet and its history? So maybe they have a little history lesson, small, so they understand at least how to Tibet had to go into exile. But
sure, definitely. So before Buddhism came to Tibet, Tibetan has their own religions. We call Bon. The Bon is similar as a Shamaniya, today's Shamaniya, right? It's the same. We call Bon, it's our earliest religions. And 7 centuries, we call King Songtsen Gampo, the name of the king. He sent 11 the young, the talented, the young 10, 11 youths to send to India to learn the India tradition and Buddhism. So, and only that one of them can come back, which is who is the Songtsen Thumi Sambuddha, his main minister. So only one person did come back from India. All others are passed away because India is so hot and Tibet is very cold place. And then we don't have a vehicle at the time. We have to walk by the jungle, right? So he came back from India to carry many sutra. He studied in Nalanda monastery and carried many sutra, and he came back to Tibet. He translated also many new things to Tibet. So, and this is we began the Buddhism. It's time not really establish it, not really well-known in Buddhism, but that's the begin Buddhist. And after the King Songtsen Gampo is I think 34th and 36th, Trisong Dezen time, one of the king, they still it's now 8th century. The 7th century is now, we started the Buddhism, translated and a little bit, but not well known in all Tibet. And then 8th century, King Trisong Dezen, he invite the Shandarakshita from India to Tibet. And then Shandarakshita came, and then he built up monastery. He makes the monks, he gives the audience, fully audience, and he also suggested to translate all this Mahayana Sutra from Sanskrit to Tibetan. We can learn better because our main Tibetan language is very much connected with the Sanskrit, because Sanskrit say ka ka ga ga nga, we say ka ka ga, same, right? So very much connected. Therefore, Shantarakshita say it's okay now. Translate from Sanskrit to Tibetan. You will never lose any value of the words because they are the same value of the words. Then we translate all in Tibetan by his suggested, and he built a monastery. And then since then we more spreaded Buddhism to Tibet. That's how began and more spread it, and continues inviting Indian Pandit, Indian scholar to. Therefore, His Holiness Dalai Lama saying, our Tibetan Buddhism source is Nalanda tradition. The Nalanda is one of the biggest university, Buddhist university in early ancient time, right? So I think this is the first university in the world, actually.
So then from there, Tibetan Buddhism continued to grow in Tibet until they needed to leave because China invaded to establish a Chinese government in Tibet.
Yes.
And that was in 1959.
Yes.
So students, and Bhante, I'm sorry, I see the clock and we've reached past the ending. So appreciate everyone staying and understand that some people need to go. But I want to make sure to
Okay, now he is. Okay.
I'm struck by this one person who made it back from India to share and how much of a contribution it was to do that, and that you and Arbante and anyone who is learning the Dhamma and shares it is continuing to do that very good thing. So thank you for coming to share Dhamma today and for your study and practice as a monk.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. This is one of my motivated to share more to young and youth. Thank you. Thank you for all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bhante and students, yes. Bhante Lobsang, thank you very much for accepting our invitation and coming in here today. So we learned a lot about the Tibetan tradition, the history, and about the Tibetan, the Mahayana Buddhism, and how it's similar with the Theravada tradition that we are following, and how we are alike, and we all following what's the teaching from the Buddha. So as you always helping us, and you are a very good friend for us, until I like a couple of minutes before this session, I didn't know that it is you who was joining us to have this session. And then so you always in past also, like we were celebrating together the International Vesak at your temple, like in 2019 before the pandemic. And it was a great event, and then a lot of us and other Theravada monks joined that. So you always work with us and have that friend.
Yeah, also let
thank
you know
for everything what you do for the Buddhism.
Yeah, thank you. And we have a United Sangha Council held every month conference. They're looking the both perspective, Mahayana perspective and Theravada perspective. Topic is same. So if you can attend, so you're very welcome to that. Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante Geshe. On behalf of our school, Dhamma School, I want to thank you again. Thank you for accepting our invitation. May all the blessings be with you. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hope to see you, Bhante, in the future.
Definitely. I was happy to become this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indika Mahathya, any comments?
Thank you very much, Bhante, for taking your time and going over some of the historical facts, as well as how the fundamentals or basics of Buddhism is common to both Theravada as well as Mahayana. So thank you very much for taking your time and educating us and enlightening us about the Dhamma.
Yeah. On behalf of students, Nigel will thank you, Nigel.
So yeah, on behalf of all the students here, thank you for showing up and taking your time to teach us about the way that you practice Buddhism and like how it differs from our way of practicing Buddhism. I very much enjoyed your talks today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, then bye everyone.
Bye.